78% of suicide rates worldwide are men. What can we do to help them? Treat us like humans. I was sexually assaulted as a child and frequently tried to harm myself, but whenever I talked to someone about it, they scoffed and said I was telling fibs. Edit. Thank you for all the kind words. Please, if you're thinking of hurting yourself, please seek help, don't go it alone. That's why I struggle to open up, because I always think someone will tell me I'm doing it for attention. I told my wife that I was molested as a child. It took me nearly 10 years to work up the courage to talk about it. Her response was, well, I can understand why she did it, and that was it. My beautiful children are all that keep me going at the moment. You better believe I won't be talking about it again to people face to face. Treat their mental health seriously. When they are struggling with a problem, the only advice that is given to them to man up. Which, in my opinion, they have, and they just need actual help. Absolutely. Getting help should be seen as a way to man up because it's the strong thing to do. Man up hurts way more than a lot of people realize. It's one of the most painful things to hear. Don't shame us for asking for help or appearing weak. Was here for this. Stop calling men pussies for having feelings. Humans feel feelings and it's normal, and expressing them doesn't make them less of a person, no matter their chromosomes. Even joking about it is bad for us. I wish more people would understand that letting yourself appear to be weak is really just showing how much strength you actually have. It takes strength for people to admit something is wrong, and no one should be belittled for it. Stop telling them to man up or grow a pair, because men suffer too. When I got a knee injury, which the 911 crew said I normally should be passed out from the pain, the only thing I was worried about was whether people would notice I had a tear coming out of my eye. Hugs, compliments and cuddles. Men does not get enough of these things. Yeah, this hits home, pretty much to the point that when I actually do get these things, I become internally uncomfortable. Almost don't feel worthy of them unless I've literally saved a life or done something amazing. Compliment them, even if it's something small. Wow, that's a nice shirt, it looks good on you. Your hair looks nice today. A girl complimented my nose 4 years ago. Weird, I know, but I still remember that compliment. 2 girls have complimented my teeth in the past 6 years. I remember their names. Compliments matter. Nice dick, homie. Edit. Never thought complimenting a stranger's dick would lead to my Reddit metal cherry being popped. Thank you for its smile. Provide more opportunities to form communities and activities that cater to different men's needs. A lot of us don't have friends or intimate platonic relationships, and we're in desperate need of that. I'm a 34-year married man who is also a father, and I have no friends that I see or socialize with on the regular. I think this is a part of aging and of having a family that needs me. The same can also be said for my wife. She is the only person in her circle of friends who is a working mother and is married, so she pretty much never sees any of her friends. Sometimes things like family duties can just bury all your free time outside of work. Meetup helps. Best I can think of is a video game group. Statistically speaking, men work more, work longer hours, work in more dangerous professions, and consume more drugs, alcohol and other. In addition, men, on average, have fewer close friends and feel lonelier than women. I think the fatigue of such a life can be quite draining. I don't think the problem is that men do not talk about their feelings. I think the problem is that they often don't have someone to talk to. In addition, it can be quite hard to make new friends. Especially when you are past your 20s. You know, people you are potentially interested in are married and have kids. They are preoccupied with their own lives. I felt very lonely and sad after my last long-term relationship ended. It took me over 6 months to find new friends, and I'm a hardcore extrovert. Still, I made a bunch of new friends within the past year or so. I'd like to encourage anyone who feels lonely to put yourself out there. Talk to people. If you like them, ask them if they like to hang out with you. Do you know how I became friends with one of my best friends? I straight up told him that I felt lonely and that I like him and would like to become friends with him. And for those of you who already have plenty of friends and a busy life, maybe make some room for people in your community who aren't as blessed as you are. I'm 40 and confirm that it's very hard to find/make new friends after mid-20s. Toss in the fact that I'm not into watching sports and it's just that much harder to even jump into a conversation, let alone make a connection. This X1000. I tried to explain this exact situation to my current GF. Single men can be a loneliness that 99% of women will never comprehend. When you go through a breakup, you are now the solo loser who does everything alone. You are a creep. You are weird. Meanwhile, you can't express this to anyone because if you bring it up, it makes everyone around you feel very weird and uncomfortable, because you are a fucking grown man. What does a female go through during a breakup? The exact opposite. She has a massive friend group who love to talk about this shit, and suddenly every single male in the world is trying to become her friend, aka trying to sleep with her. She will make more friends in one night of being single than a single male will make in 12 months. We are two different creatures and suffer from many different things, but I don't think females will truly ever understand what a single male can go through. Thoughts of suicide are serious and often. Give us one compliment. Just one. A girl once said I had really pretty eyes. That shit was 7 years ago, and I remember it perfectly because it's all I've gotten in 7 years. A previous member of the Norwegian royal family committed suicide this Christmas, 50-year-old male. After this, the Prime Minister told the public that she wanted to investigate the mental health of the population, especially for girls. Sometimes I hate politics. We are failing our precious boys. Not turn them away when they tell us what they're struggling with. Oh my dog, this blew up. Anyway, I'm so sorry to everyone who posted here sharing their cases of being turned down. I hope you all find someone who is gonna listen and help you. It's always the same. Oh man, that sucks, but you wouldn't believe how hard it is for me. Edit. This is not just about women saying to men, but also men to men. Thank you for all of your kindness. Yeah, it's hard. If a guy says he feels bad, in most cases it's because he reached his limits. It's sad. Work towards fixing the fact that most men have some form of depression. As Thoreau said, the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. Stop assuming anyone concerned about men's issues is a misogynist. When we talk about men in general, 99% of the time it's negative. It's no wonder men are having a tough time. Nobody wants to talk about men's issues. If 78% of suicides were women, it would be talked about non-stop. Just look at breast cancer versus prostate cancer. There is virtually no public awareness about prostate cancer. Other cancers have trouble because they aren't related to boobs. Probably do something about the male homeless problem. Last stat I saw was around 85% of the homeless population was male. In my town, there is exactly one homeless shelter that will admit men, even when it's below freezing outside. The rest have a very strict women and children only policy. They'll turn away entire families unless they're willing to split up and send the father back out into the cold. Although we are allowed, encouraged to be open about how we feel or think, we can't. If something is a genuine problem and we verbalize it, the reaction is almost always others jumping down our throat as we have no right to complain, or mocking as we have supposedly been living privileged. It's become worse in recent years as we literally have to tiptoe around while being blamed for everything generations before us supposedly did. Most men alive today had no part in anything that was done to others. We were born into a different world where we have always been on the back foot, yet carry a lot of the blame and stigma from things we had nothing to do with. I'm expecting this post to get mass downvoted purely for openly saying what I personally live and experience. We don't talk about that shit because it gets hammered back at us, so we shut the fuck up and just keep going until we break. Then everyone is like, oh, you should have said something. No, we shouldn't, as it just creates more stress and makes things more difficult. You want to help, Then create an environment for men equal to that of everyone else instead of dwelling on the doings of long-dead people and putting men separate and last. The thing about equality is that everyone is equal regardless of gender, sexuality and age, etc. People want to know what can be done to help, but when they know, it just gets buried again. It's easier to just not bring it up so we don't face all the BS and drama about how hard everyone else has it as if we live in golden castles. Too many people see the world through decades-old rose-tinted glasses. Things need to change. I'm the man, and oh my god, I apply to myself so much relaxation enduring watching this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you know how to help you with your man's troubles and deeps, please write it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a nice day for all the men and women.